tutorial, as you may or may not be able to tell by my bare face and the ridiculous amount of makeup behind me. And it will be basically with the Too Faced Natural Eye eyeshadow palette, which I got a few months ago, and it is definitely one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. My favorite shades are this one here, the golden obviously, and this brown one here, which looks beautiful on a smoky eye. So this is what I've been wearing on my eyes for a lot of the past month or so, and I just wanted to show you guys how you can get a nice smoky eye with this eyeshadow palette if you're thinking of buying it, or if you have it, or if you have similar shades. But I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to try not to rely too much on heavy eyeliner on bottom and top lash lines. So I'm going to go for something a little bit softer, still quite smoky but really soft and gentle, not really harsh lines. So let's see what I come up with. So I've already moisturized my face, and I used my Healgel Face moisturizer, which is my favorite moisturizer, and I've been using it for quite some time now. And yeah, I just find it really nice and soothing and smoothing on my face. So now I'm going to move on to primer, and I'm going to be using the MAC Prep and Prime again. I used to be obsessed with this primer a couple of years ago when I bought it first, and I just completely forgot I had it. It doesn't do much for coverage, and unlike the Benefit the Professional, this doesn't have any colour pigmentation at all. But primers I don't think are supposed to do any sort of hiding. So I just smooth that all over my face. One thing I'd be careful when using this primer is not to apply too much, because otherwise it just flakes out on your skin, and yeah, your foundation just doesn't stick as well to your skin when you put too much of this on. Next, I'm going to go for my Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua foundation, which is one of my favourite foundations ever. This is currently one of the few foundations that I own that match my current skin tone. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm extremely pale compared to what I normally look like, and I'm just praying for sunshine. So I thought I would make the most of this. I just wanted to use a foundation that I haven't used that much on tutorials, so you guys can see a different foundation of me instead of Luminous Silk, because I know I'm obsessed with Luminous Silk. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend it all in, and if you haven't seen my beauty blender first impressions review, I'll leave the link down below. I'm starting with a very light layer and then building up as I go, because I think that's the best way always with foundation. This foundation is a lot more natural looking than Luminous Silk, and so if you find that Luminous Silk is a little bit too heavy for you, then give Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua a go. For concealer, I'm going to use the Garnier Roll-On Eye, what's it called? Anti-Dark Circles Concealer, and this one is in the shade Medium. And I've had this for a long time, and I like to use it on and off, but it's just got a little ball at the end and you roll it on. This is meant to be for the under eye area, but because this shade is just a little bit too dark for what I like on my under eye area, I'm going to use it for just around the face, especially on that little stubborn spot there. I find patting motions are best for a beauty blender. It just helps push the product into the skin without making it look cakey or heavy. I actually dropped my iPhone on my face last night before I went to sleep, and I dropped it right there on the bridge of my nose, and it's so painful, so I'm trying to hide the little bit of redness that it left there. And then for my under eyes, I'm going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer that you know very well, and shade NW20. I'm in a very good mood today, so that's good. And I'm just going to dab that on my under eye area. Now I'm going to use my Giorgio Micro-Fil loose powder, and I'm going to use this with my Real Techniques sponge, which is sort of the dupe to the beauty blender. And I told you that I didn't really like this on my beauty blender review, but I'm trying to find a way to use this so that it doesn't go to waste, and maybe powder is the way. So I'm just literally going to push this into the skin where I feel like I need to powder, and it's mainly where I applied a heavier layer of foundation and concealer so that the product sticks. I think I found a really good use for this. seems to have done the job well. Now it's time to give myself some eyebrows, and I'm going to be using MAC eyeshadow in Carbon, which is just a matte black shade, and these two tools here, a little spoolie to comb my eyebrows and a little angled brush to draw in the shape. And what I like to do, because the MAC palettes don't come with a mirror, I have my little mirror here from Birchbox, and I just pop it on the top there, and I've got my custom mirrored palette. Just comb my eyebrows. They don't need that much filling in because I've done them recently, which is quite nice. And then just comb it again to get rid of the excess of the product. Now for bronzer, I'm going to go for a more overall bronzed look and not too much of a defined contour, but I'm still going to use my all-time favourite Chanel Soleil Tan Chanel Moisturizing Bronzing Powder, which looks like this, and it has a hint of shimmer, but I don't mind. I really like this. And my Real Techniques blush brush. I'm going to do this very gently to achieve an overall bronzed look. And then gently just go over with the Beauty Blender just to blend everything in with the foundation and not have anything looking too harsh. For blush, I'm going to be using a combination of two MAC blushes, and this one here is Pinch O Peach, which is a lovely peachy pink colour, and this one is Pink Swoon, which is a more cool tone pink colour. You can see it better there. This one is a lot deeper and this one is a lot softer. But I find this is good for overall, and this is good for just a pop of colour on the cheeks. So I'm going to use my Japonesque blush brush, and I'm going to do the same mirror trick on the palette. Now I'm going to go for the other blush, the Pink Swoon. And this is just going to go on the apples of my cheeks. And then blend again with the Beauty Blender. Very gently, I don't want to get rid of the colour. I just want to make everything blend. So it's finally time to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to be using my Too Faced Natural Eye Neutral Eyeshadow Collection. This is what the palette looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous, and this is my favourite shade. So I'm going to start with this shade called Honey Pot all over the lid with a Sigma E25 brush. And I'm going to do the same mirror trick because this palette doesn't have a mirror. So just put that all over the lid as a base colour. And it's going to create a very nice and golden base for the look. Next I'm going to apply this eyeshadow here called Cocoa Puff, which is this very, very rich brown shade with a bit of shimmer. And I'm going to apply this with a MAC 239 brush. And the reason why I'm using this brush is because I want to have control over where that colour is going, and then I'll smoke it out. But I'm going to start applying this on the outer edge of my eyes, and this is a very pigmented shade, so be careful. So I'm just going to start by dabbing it on the outer edge of my eye very slowly, and then bringing it into the crease. And then just blend those edges in with a big fluffy brush just to really soften up the look. And now with a very small brush like this Real Techniques Detailer brush, I'm going to be taking the same eyeshadow, Cocoa Puff, on the lower lash line. And again I'm going to take my MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to soften up that brown line underneath. I've got very sensitive eyes. Oh, they're watering. Now with a tiny angled brush, the MAC 263, I'm going to be taking MAC Carbon, which is the same eyeshadow that I used on my eyebrows, on my lower on my upper lash line and just really smoke that out. And then put my little mirror here again. It's going to be just really close to the lash line just to help out with the smokiness. And then just really try and soften that line as much as possible. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Cocoa Puff with the MAC 239, and I'm just going to go over that black line very smoothly, just pushing in the colour. For mascara, I'm going to be using my Benefit Ethereal Mascara and my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. I'm going to try and give myself a lot of volume. Oh, I've got such sensitive eyes, they're watering. This mascara is amazing, but if I'm not careful it can get a little bit clumpy, so I always like to go back with a little spoolie and get rid of the clumps. And now the bottom lashes. So now I'm just going to clean up the mess underneath the eyes with the MAC Pro-Longwear Concealer again and the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. Just going to go over that area here where I had a little bit of fallout. So for lipstick, I'm going to go with the Soap & Glory Super Color Fabulipstick in Super Nude, which is a muted rose nude shade, and I love it. And this is the finished look. It's something slightly different than what I normally do without lining my waterline, and I just think it makes my eyes look much bigger and more awake. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you all on Sunday. Bye!